The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse Ewing. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle, where you can access your full potential right now. Finally break free from destructive habits. That dream life, if you want it, you can have it. This is where you transform your health, mind, business, and relationships. Or do nothing and keep your life the way it is. But if you're ready for change, you're in the right place. This is where you're gonna learn how to live a habit-based lifestyle. You are tuning in to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with your host, Jesse Ewing. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle. Let's go.
Now, today's episode is going to be a little bit different. Just to give you kind of a rundown of what happened. A few days ago was Cinco de Mayo, and we had some friends over, and we drank some margaritas, and my wife had a few too many margaritas. And yesterday, what ended up happening is she got sick, and she wasn't feeling good. In fact, she was throwing up the night before. She had a few too many margaritas. She ended up going to get an IV so she felt better. But in the process of doing that, yesterday was Monday. I had a full day planned out of work and everything that I was going to get done. And we have a little 3-year-old daughter, Jocelyn, who my wife, she stays home with my wife, and she kind of does everything with her. But one of the things that happened is my wife is like, hey, can I drop her off? Have you watch her while I get an IV? And I was like, sure, of course. But to be honest with you, I was pissed off. I was a little frustrated because I had to change my schedule up. I had a full day of coaching clients, a full day just scheduled of things that I wanted to get done. So I went and picked up my daughter just down the street while my wife was getting an IV, and it ended up being, like 2 to 3 hours. My wife ended up being at the doctor's office. So I brought her up the street to my office. As I sat here with my daughter, I did a couple coaching calls in my other office, and I let her kind of be in mine, and she got to watch some shows and just kind of got to hang out. But as the day went on, she kept coming into my office, and she kept, saying like, Daddy, I love you, giving me a hug. I miss you so much. Even while I'm on the phone doing coaching calls and I'm on my computer working, she would keep coming in like every 20 to 30 minutes and kind of checking on me. And she'd come in and talk to me for a minute and, just kind of back and forth. She was watching her show in my office, and this went on for about an hour and a half. And my mood went completely from being pissed off, being annoyed, to just being present with my daughter and watching her kind of come in every 30 minutes and give me a hug, tell me she loved me. And my mood completely changed and shifted. And I thought, man, like how cool is this that my daughter that's 3 years old gets to come in to my office and just kind of hang out with me for a few hours. The reason why this matters is this, oftentimes as parents, we're worried about the quantity of time we spend with our kids. We're worried about, hey, I need to be home and spend hours and hours with my kids. But one of the things that I began to look at was, if my daughter's telling me she loves me, if my daughter keeps coming in and telling me, hey, Daddy, I missed you so much, that means that the quality of time we are spending together really is what matters to my daughter. That means that whatever she's doing here in my office while we're here, whether we're across from each other or not, what matters to her is the quality of time that we are together. We are right across the office from each other. And many times as parents, we get into this place of, I need to be with my kids for 5-6 hours straight. I need to, do all these things for my kids. I need to buy them something. And so there was a huge lesson that I learned is just being able to look for opportunities to spend with my kids, opportunities of time to spend with them. But the biggest lesson I learned yesterday was this. It's about quality of time, not about quantity of time. It's about quality of time, not about quantity of time. And the reason why I say this is because as parents, we often feel this guilt and shame for not spending a quantity of time with our kids. And so as our day went on yesterday, I just kind of slowed down and said, you know what? All this stuff that I have to do really means nothing at this point. What matters is that I spend quality time with my daughter. And so one of the things that I did is I said, hey, her favorite thing to eat is Panera macaroni and cheese. And maybe you might think, well, that's not very healthy. Well, guess what? She's 3. And I just said, hey, what do you want for lunch? And she goes, oh, I really want Panera. So I ordered delivery and I had Panera deliver us some lunch here and we ate it downstairs. And I kind of was like, you know what? I'm just going to take the rest of the afternoon off. I have a call at 4. I'll do it from home. But I decided at that point that the rest of the day I was going to spend some quality time with my daughter and just push everything aside so I could be present in her space and we could enjoy each other. Now I went home while my wife continued to get her IV, which ended up taking several hours. But we went home and we really just kind of hung out, played around until my son and my other daughter got home. And then we just kind of, hung out. But the thing that I enjoyed the most was that the fact that I went from being pissed off in the morning, having to reschedule my entire day, to actually enjoying the day, enjoying the time that I got to spend with my daughter, enjoying the quality time that we got to be together. And we also went on a walk last night. She loves the scooter. She has this little scooter. I got to sit there and just kind of be in her world and watch what she does. And imagine this, if you just let go of your schedule, you just let go of everything that you had to do, and you just got into a present place with your kids to where this quality time was what mattered the most, whether it was 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. All that mattered was the quality of attention that you gave your kids in that moment. And here's what I know. The times when I go for quantity, how much time am I spending with my kids? What I end up feeling usually is this guilt and shame. Because if it's about quantity of time, then I'm just focused on the amount of time I get to spend with them. If it's about quality time, then I'm focused on being present and in the moment. So when it comes to kids, when it comes to me hanging out with my kids and being around my kids, the number one shift for me is to now focus on what is the quality of time I'm spending with my kids. Am I 100% focused? Do I put my phone down? Do I push it aside? Do I pay attention to them? Do I get into their world? And the only way to get into their world is actually to begin pushing everything aside, my to-do list, my phone, my, everything, to push that aside so I can begin to be present and in their world. And I can't tell you how powerful yesterday was for me, especially today as I sit down and write my gratitude out for the day and just be grateful for my daughter who's teaching me this lesson of quality time over quantity of time. How my daughter, who's 3 years old, can teach me these lessons if I just slow down enough to actually listen and learn. And that's the real power of this. That's the real power of our kids, is they teach us lessons in life, but we have to actually slow down and be in a place where we're ready to receive those. And if you're listening to this, you're like, man, how do I do this? One of the simplest ways is just to block out time every week for your kids. Now, for me, for a long time, it was all about taking my kids on dates. One of the things that I started to realize is this: my kids don't really care about going out to eat. They don't really care about, buying them stuff. What they care about is me being 100% focused on them when I'm with them. This has came up several times this last weekend where, I went to the park with my kids, my wife, and we all played baseball. I took my son on a hike Sunday morning instead of going to church, and we spent an hour together, an hour and a half together, just talking about life and how he said, Dad, I want to do this every weekend with you. And then to where I'm spending Monday with my daughter, like half the day on Monday, which normally I wouldn't be spending that much time with her, and then taking her on a walk last night where she got a scooter and just kind of be free and be herself. But where in your life are you not scheduling these opportunities of quality time with your kids? Maybe you're more worried about buying them some type of gift or some type of present. Maybe you're trying to make up for it in that sense. Maybe you're worried about taking them to Disneyland or some other place, or taking them to dinner, when you can do quality of time anywhere. You can do quality of time reading them a book at night. You can do quality of time playing a board game. Maybe even just going on a walk with them or playing catch with them. One of the fondest memories I have of my dad was when he would barbecue in the summer. And I would run these passing routes and he'd throw the football to me for literally hours. But that's one of the best memories I have, way above anything else like buying me something. And so I ask you today, how can you begin to spend quality time with your kids? How can you begin to impact your kids in a way that matters? Instead of worrying about buying them shit, and start focusing on the quality of time that you get to spend with them daily, maybe even weekly, but just being able to schedule that out. And I wanted to share this message today, not because I wanted somebody to feel guilt and shame, but because I just wanted to simply share how one little instance, I could have easily told my wife, you know what? No, I'm too busy. I don't have time to do this. I got to work, which, trust me, I wanted to. But I would have missed out on this gift that my little daughter gave me. I would have missed out on this opportunity to learn. But think about in your life, where are you missing out on these opportunities to spend time with your kids because you're staying at work? You can't push aside your schedule. You're too busy. And I made a decision to push my other stuff aside and focus on my daughter. So I appreciate you being on here today and listening. This is a very powerful message for me. And this is almost just a reminder for me that if I get in this mode again of, hey, I can't push my clients aside, I can do whatever I want because I run my own business. So it really is not about I can't do this. It's really about I'm choosing this. But I want to share this message with you because I know there's at least one person listening that can be like, you know what? I've been telling myself the story, I'm too busy, that I can't spend time with my kids. And maybe you're a CEO mom. Maybe you spend so much time with your kids, it's never about quality. It's always about quantity. And maybe just stepping out of the normal routine and stepping into actually getting on their level and playing with them. But if you are looking to connect further with a group of like-minded people, join myself and so many others in my Habit-Based Lifestyle Secrets group on Facebook. This is where I'll be dropping daily habits to help you begin living to your full potential. If you want to be one of our next case studies and begin living this habit-based lifestyle that we talk about, maybe you have some questions, comments, requests, reviews, feel free to contact me, jesse@habitbasedlifestyle.com. You can also check out my website, jesseewell.com. Until next episode, have a great day.
The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse.